Hey sheepdogs, welcome to Overwatch. Chap here. Hey, we're moving into our fourth week of working through Jimmy Bremner's book, Cracking the Armor. A couple of videos ago, I said that we were going to start highlighting some YouTube channels and stuff, and I have two today that I want to start the video out by giving a plug. The first one is Warriors PTS for Military and Their Families. They're a Facebook page. And go on Facebook and look them up and like their page. There's a lot of good information that they give out. MJ does a great job researching and putting information out. So like their page so you can stay up to date on some things that they put out. The second, Sean Matthews with Board Paracord. I told you guys I make the keychains and the bracelets and stuff, and so far we've given out 36 of them. But where I live, it's hard to find good paracord. Well, Board Paracord, okay, and I'm gonna put a link at the bottom. I've learned how to do that, so I'm gonna put a link at the bottom so you can contact these guys. This is great paracord. It's 3M stuff. It's the real deal, and I'm not doing commercials for them. They're not giving me anything for this. I am a customer, but I'm a satisfied customer. So Sean Matthews, as a matter of fact, I ordered some tan. The sheriff's office here in the county that I live in, their uniforms are black and tan, and I didn't have any tan to make them some keychains. So I ordered them, and I put my own address on there, which was I don't have a PO box because for what most of us don't, because what we do for a living. So I never did get it. So I sent him an email, and he asked me to confirm my address. And when I went back and looked at my billing, I was like, dude, I gave him the wrong address. Man, it was no problem. They shipped it out. It came quick. It's just exactly what I ordered. And if I'm gonna spend money someplace, these people are gonna be the ones that I buy my paracord from now on, because it's a good product and they're great people. So I'll put the link at the bottom. Now, Jimmy said that in the late 1980s, his battle with PTSD began. Jimmy had a lot of trauma in his personal life, a lot of loss. He lost his stepbrother, in a motor vehicle crash. He had to go down and make identification for the body, and then he had to make arrangements. Jimmy was an only child, so a lot of this stuff fell to him. His grandmother passed away in 1992. He lost his mom in 96, and she was my age. She was 60, so she passed away from ovarian cancer. And it all happened, in a fairly quick period of time. His mother's death was a shock. So he never knew his father, but he had a stepfather who cared for him and who came down with cancer, and Jimmy wound up being his caregiver too until he passed away. So now he's got this thing called life hitting him. Then he's got his pressures as a team leader on an SRT unit or SWAT, whatever you want to call it. That in and of itself carries a weight there. I've been in a command staff position before, and it really weighs on you. So looking at those two things together, now what Jimmy did find out about himself was he didn't let anybody on the team know that he was struggling. He felt like he had to be strong. He didn't want to show any weaknesses. Can I just share with you, before I started treatment, I didn't show emotion because I didn't have any. Now, and I've told you guys before, I've been honest with you, I have what's called the gift of tears. I'm all right with that. It doesn't make me any less a warrior. Doesn't make me any less a sheepdog. Doesn't make me any less what I do. I think, as a matter of fact, I think it makes me better. So Jimmy lived by the old adage: you don't bring your problems to work, and you don't take your work home with you. Now, that's good in theory. if you've got problems in your marriage, if you've got problems in your bills, if you've got problems with your kids, like it or not, it ain't staying at the door when you go through the sheriff's department, the PD, SHP station, wherever you work, the barracks, the battery, the company, wherever you're at, firehouse, medic house, they're coming with you. And what you have to learn to do as a professional is learn to keep them in check. And the way you do that is you share. If you walk around and you act like everything's all good and you're fine and there's nothing wrong with you and you can handle it, you can do this, you can do that, you are a train wreck getting ready to happen. There's nothing wrong with feelings. There's nothing wrong with having feelings. Who better to talk to? This past week, I lost a friend of mine. Came out of the blue. He took his life. He was a sheepdog. It has affected me in ways that I didn't dream that it could. Those feelings are very real, and if you try to man up, lock it down, now there are times if you're on an op and you lose a teammate or whatever, you got to lock that down. You got to deal with business. All right, I get that. All right, I understand that. All right, but there's nothing wrong if you got to carry a teammate out of a house and you got to drape a flag over his or her body. There is nothing wrong with letting somebody to see that you're hurting. The days of, and I challenge police chiefs and sheriffs and anybody else that's in a command staff position, if you have an officer or trooper or a military person or whatever, firehouse, whatever, and they come to you and they tell you they're having a problem with something they've seen, don't rear back in your chair and rub your big old belly and say, hey, maybe this ain't the job for you. Maybe you need to move on down the road. And then you go home that night and suck down a 12-pack and smoke cigarettes till you can't see. And then one day somebody comes by the house because you didn't come to work and you didn't put a gun in your mouth. All right. So the days of keeping all this stuff compartmentalized are over. All right. So in '99, he said the team was running like a well-oiled machine. As a matter of fact, they were operating so good that out of all the teams working, a lot of the patrol shifts and stuff would wait till Jimmy's team was on before they launched a raid on a house or anything like that, because these guys were so good at what they did. And Jimmy talks about what started his downward spiral was they were trying to talk a guy out of a house, and he wound up taking his own life. And Jimmy said that he felt like a failure because he couldn't even save the guy from himself. That sound familiar to anybody? Let me explain something to you. If you and I are on op and you're my cover, if we dump into a room and I walk headlong into something, that was my time. You understand what I'm saying? You have a born on date, you have a died on date, there's a dash in the middle, and it's what you do with that dash that counts, okay? If it's my time, it's my time. I can either be on an op, I can be mowing the grass, I can be camping somewhere, I can be giving my dog a bath. When it's my time, it's my time, all right? So when you're talking to somebody and you're trying to reach this person and you're doing everything that you know to do to reach this person, and they still make a choice to end their own life, you cannot take that personally. It is not your fault. If you can go home and look at yourself in the mirror, don't go home and pull the cork out of a bottle. Don't do that. That's not going to help anything. It's still going to be there when you sober up, and probably the alcohol. If you're like I am, the drunker I got, the sorrier I felt for myself. So I had to stop whining and start doing. Okay? Now, I don't want to mislead you. I'm not skipping down the yellow brick road now and everything's fine and I'm good to go and I'm this, that, and that. I have days. I have horrible days. They're not as many as I used to have, but see, I know what to do when those days come. I read Psalms 91. If y'all ain't reading Psalms 91 every other day, what's wrong with you? Okay? See, a lot of this is self-inflicted because once you watch Chap's video, I'm telling you what to do. I'm telling you what to do because I know it works. It worked for me. And my wife's like, I don't know if I want to be on the video or not, but I want you to hear it from her. I want you to hear from her what she went through, what my daughter went through, what my son went through, okay? It's just terrible. Ultimately, you and you alone are responsible for controlling your appetites, for whatever it is that you try to self-medicate with or how you think or whatever. Others may warn you, they may help you, they may encourage you, but at the end of the day, the habits that you adopt is going to be the habits that rule your life, and they're going to be the ones that you build your foundation on. Booze ain't going to do it. A dope bag ain't going to do it. Talking to somebody that's never walked in your boots before may or may not, but a lot of times they're not going to. I have people, listen guys, I have people that will come to one of our demonstrations and we're there with all cool guy stuff on, SWAT gear and stuff, and they'll see the patch on my shirt and it says sniper. Well, then my team commander will introduce me also as the team chaplain. And then you see people, they get that look because well, how can you be a chaplain and a sniper too? They don't get it. Okay, they don't get it. To me, there's no conflict. There's no problem there. Okay, I'm doing a job just like anybody else on my team. And I'm going to be moving more into a support role. I'm getting older. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I got to spend some time with my team commander yesterday, and just, it's kind of cool because we talked about everything but SRT. Hey, when we finish up with this, we're going to go through another book that a hero of mine wrote. His name is Jerry Boykin. He's a retired 2 or 3 star general. He was one of the founding members of Delta Force. I mean, one of the sharpest guys I ever met, and I had my picture taken with him, and he put his hand up around me, around the back of my coat, and on the back of your vest, on your armor, there's a strap back there where you can grab your buddy and drag him to safety if you have to, or pull him down or whatever, and he grabbed my coat like he had that strap, and he took the picture with me, and I thanked him for it, and he signed my book, and he looked at me and he says, "You're welcome, brother." And he called me brother, all right? A 3-star general is going to call me brother, all right? That's the kind of feeling that we need to have for one another, okay? You're going to struggle, all right? Welcome to the party, pal. You're going to struggle, all right? Here's what you need to understand, okay? You don't have to do this alone. You have teammates you can talk to. You have Christian counselors you can talk to. You have me. Look, y'all ain't using that prayer please number 8@gmail.com like you need to be. Look, the only person you're hurting by not using that is you, okay? You need to have people praying for you. You need to have somebody praying for you, interceding for you. Might as well be me. I mean, who else? I mean, you want a team guy praying for you, don't you? Somebody that understands what you're going through. I know enough about fire to know I ain't going in, all right? But I got a brother of mine, his name's Don. I seen him blown through a wall one day, and he rolled on the ground and stood up, and they sprayed him down. He looked over at me, and he said, and runs back in the house. I'm like, you a fool, all right? But I can't talk to firemen as well as I can operators and cops and stuff like that. But we're all sheepdogs. We're all in the same. It's all about saving lives and stuff like that, all right? And our fire brothers and sisters and our EMS people and our military people are all 5 times more likely to commit suicide, all right? You're going to have days where you're going to wonder, is this fight really worth it? I have days where I want to make a video and I think, am I really making a difference? I mean, am I reaching anybody? I mean, and then I have times where I don't want to sit here and tell you that everything's going to be all right because I don't believe it myself. And then God will grab me and give me a spiritual kick in the backside and go, "Anybody tell you sandbag? I didn't tell you to slow down. You draw fire. You move out and draw fire. Do what I told you to do." And then it gets my head back in the game, and I start to understand that I don't operate off emotions. You can't either. If you operate off emotions on an op, it's going to cost you or somebody their lives. You operate off pure training. Spiritual warfare should be no different from you. Okay, so how do you get there? Well, you talk to guys like Chap. You read the Bible. You read Psalms 91, and when I post this, I'll put some other stuff on there, or either wait till the next video. However, we're about 15 minutes now, so I want to kind of slow it down. So just that'll give you something to think about to the next video. But remember about those habits, okay? You don't quit in a fight. You don't quit in a fire. You don't quit on the battlefield. You don't quit when you're giving CPR. Why quit on this? Why let the devil talk you into throwing it all away? You train for the fight. You train to stay alive, okay? Don't take your own life. Don't do that. No matter how bad it is. All right, 704-292-8796. 704-292-8796. That's my personal cell phone number. It rings 24/7. Don't worry about waking Chap up. I'm old. I go back to sleep. All right, I sleep good. Didn't used to, but I do now most nights. I still have nights. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I still have days. Okay, I don't want y'all to look at me and think I'm walking down the yellow brick road with a smile on my face and everything else. But I'm telling you right now, I'm head and shoulders over where I was. Okay, and I've grown to look at this as a blessing for me because it helps me help other people. So with that said, we're 17 minutes in. All right, I'll post some scripture for you to read. And one other thing I want to say. Okay, one other thing I want to say. Just because you're a Christian don't mean you ain't a warrior. It don't mean you ain't a sheepdog. It don't mean that you're not ready to do whatever it is you have to do to defend your community, to defend your family, to defend your country. Okay? Nowhere in the Bible does it say you can't do that. Okay? As an operator, I don't go out just looking for people to impose my will upon. I don't do that. I've never hurt anybody. I've never put my hands on anybody that didn't swing on me first. All right? And then when I did, it was just enough to get them under control or take them downtown. All right, so, I mean, why not let God be the foundation? We talked about those habits a few minutes ago, those habits that you're going to build your foundation on as you heal, okay? Why not build them on solid rock, okay? If you're out on the gun range and you're standing in sand and you're shifting and sliding, you're not going to be as accurate with that weapon as you would be if you were shooting from a stable platform, right? Okay, so Bible verses are not warm fuzzies. They're not there to make you feel good. They're there to give you something to anchor to, okay? It's just like a training manual. It's just like you guys in the military, your SQT manuals. If y'all still, I mean, I know y'all have qualifications. When I was in 100 years ago, it was SQT test. And if I just dated myself, I already told you I was old, so it don't matter. But like, subscribe, hit the little bell. All right, tell your buddies about us. All right, we're on Facebook, Sheepdog Overwatch. If you want to get to us, the easy way to do it is go to Google @ Sheepdog Overwatch 753. It'll pull it up, and you're right there on the Facebook page. I post stuff on there a fair amount, and I'll put this video on there too. But and I'll also put it on my PTSD awareness. So until next time, y'all pray for Chap so we can keep this thing going. And prayer, please, the number 8 at gmail.com. All right, sheepdogs overwatch at gmail.com. Let me hear from you. And this Chap. See you next time.